pomodoro sauce, also known as marinara sauce. Your trusted friend. You should always have it in your refrigerator. You should always have tomato passata or canned tomatoes ready to make pomodoro in the background or in your pantry. So once you have your pomodoro, it's the basis for any number of sauces. It's one of the backbones of Italian cooking, especially Southern Italian cooking. So today I'm going to take you through 3 or 4 sauce varietals you can have on hand at any time as long as you have this. We'll have an alla fiorentina, which is tomato, mozzarella, and basil. Amatriciana, which is pancetta, onions, black pepper, and pecorino. We will have a salsa radicchio, which will be tomato, red wine, radicchio, and house-made Italian sausage. And a puttanesca, garlic, capers, anchovies, tomato, parsley, and olives. Right? All of these sauces will be at your disposal as long as you have pomodoro on hand. When you have this, you are one step away from everything. We'll start a couple of sauces at the same time, prove to you how easy it is. In a pan, put your pancetta in. Let it start to render out a little bit. You may need a splash of olive oil to do this. You may not. Just depends on. You may want to start it with just a small splash of olive oil. Now, when you go to make amatriciana, it's very important that you put your black pepper, and we grind this every day, keep it as fresh as possible, in when you start to render out the pancetta. If you add black pepper to something after it's cooked, it has a slight piquancy to it. But as you saute it, you will get a much, much higher heat level, higher spice. Some people think that in amatriciana you find a lot of crushed red pepper flake. What you're getting is the sauteed heat from the black pepper. All right, so I'll hit it just one more time. We'll move right down really quickly. We'll start our salsa radicchio. House-made Italian sausage. Ours has fennel in it, lots of parmigiano, and anything that makes red grease is good. Let's start letting the fat render out of that sausage a little bit. Turn that down. Remember, these aren't just on and off. These are variable. So you really don't need to go much over medium heat on any of this. All right. Start letting that render out. Excuse my reach, please. Thank you very much. Secret spoon stash. Incredibly important. And you notice we're not adding a whole lot of extra fat into any of these. Right? Then we move right down here. For this one, we will need a little bit of fat. Here we go. So, get a little bit of olive oil in the pan. This is puttanesca. Puttanesca is famous in Naples. They used to use this to advertise where services for ladies of the night were available. We start with anchovies. Now, some people say that you can puree all of this up and add it together. That's true. You can also puree a cheeseburger. That does not make it a good idea. Let your anchovies start to render out. As it does, start to break it up gently in the oil. This is where it starts to happen really fast. Add your garlic in, your capers in, your olives. Now, you don't want a really buttery olive for this. You want something like a calamata. I happen to be using Castelvetrano today. That's about as buttery an olive as you want for puttanesca. Add in a little bit of fresh tomato. Not a lot, but just enough. And parsley. Parsley is a very important ingredient. Oh, I wish you could smell those anchovies. I love that smell. So, right now, we've got our pancetta rendering up. Our sausage and radicchio is rendering. Now that it's wilted, the radicchio, red wine, turn that heat up and start reducing. And I'm doing all these at the same time to prove to you how easy it is to make sauces out of these once you have everything ready. So we start rendering out that pancetta, add the onions, and now we let those caramelize a little bit. This is reducing. The puttanesca, you smell the base, you smell the anchovy, you smell the garlic toasting, you smell the tomato. You want to grab some chili flake, because this sauce should be spicy. We use chili de árbol. You can also use Calabrian chili, which I happen to love. Okay, so your base there is ready. Move right down here. That one will be the Sorrentina, the easiest one of all of them. For the Sorrentina, you simply add your tomato sauce. Start to get it out. Excuse me. There's some chili flake in there. Add your tomato sauce. You do that with the other hand so it's easier to see. Add your pomodoro. So as you see, you get about 3.5 servings of tomato sauce out of any quart of pomodoro. Now you've got this pancetta rendered out. You've got the nice spicy black pepper. Sorry about that, Lily. Our videographer can attest to the fact that it's a little bit piquant in this kitchen right now. Now you add that. I'm going to give this a little splash of red wine vinegar because I like a little bit of brightness to my amatriciana. It is not required. That's a me thing. As if it's my channel. So, a little bit more olive oil here. Olive oil in Italian cooking, especially even in a tomato sauce, you will see more olive oil than you might have originally thought you would see. You see that really nice finish that you get on pasta, that nice shine, that comes from the olive oil. And there's really no way to fake that at all. So I'm going to come back to the amatriciana, hit it with black pepper one more time. The salsa radicchio is almost ready to go. The puttanesca is done. The sorrentina, put the mozzarella in. We make our own mozzarella every day, every shift here at both the Floriana. A little bit of basil goes inside of that. All 4 of your sauces in under 5 minutes. Buon appetito. Now, I know that you don't have one of these handy-dandy pasta boilers at home. All you need to do is bring water up to a boil and salt it so it tastes like a mouthful of the ocean. That's all you're going to do. And then pop it right in the water. Make sure it's boiling. If it isn't boiling, it's all going to stick together and it's going to come out a terrible gummy mess. Touch more. Taste, 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 taste. If you're not tasting, you're not cooking. And the pasta will take about 2 to 3 minutes, or I like to call it about 4 sips of wine to cook. Go ahead and get into the water. Start gently stirring the pasta around. You don't want to stir it too vigorously. You might break it up. You want to get it moving a little bit, but the boiling of the water will move it around some. Now, I'm not an oil in the pasta water guy. Some people are. I think it screws up the consistency of the pasta. I think just good old-fashioned salted water is the right way to go. Excuse my reach, please. Thank you. The nice heated cabinet with our bowls in it we sheet here. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Move it around a little bit, and you'll see the pasta will start to come up to a flow as it begins to finish up. All right. Pull it out, and it's important that you get it into the sauce, oops, excuse me, with the handle there, and let it finish inside of the sauce. All right? And you'll notice it's lightly coated. It's not drowning in the sauce. All right? In Italian cooking, the pasta's the thing. You took all that time and energy and that effort and that expertise and bought all the right ingredients and the right equipment to make this beautiful pasta. And then you're going to drown it in a sauce that takes away all the flavor? No. You want to enjoy the texture of that pasta. You want to enjoy the flavor of that pasta. That's why you took the time and the energy to go ahead and make fresh stuff. Even the stuff you buy in a box, if you buy a nice quality, you really want to enjoy the quality of that pasta. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Really quick, really easy. All right, just going to let that reduce down just a touch more. So, we start with the amatriciana. Right into the center of the bowl. And it's important with the amatriciana. You gotta have a really nice hard cheese to finish up with it. Some people like Parmigiano Reggiano. I'm using a little bit of pecorino in fossa. In fossa means with a dent. When you buy this pecorino in fossa, there will be a dent in the top. And if you don't see that, then people won't believe you that it's pecorino in fossa. All right, so next to the salsa radicchio. This is the sauce, the house-made sausage. Red wine, radicchio. Really simple, nice and beautiful in the center of the plate. Move right to the puttanesca. Your anchovies, olives, capers, tomato, and the alla sorrentina. The kids love this one. This is just spaghetti, mozzarella, pomodoro, and basil. If you're really dying to garnish your pastas a little bit more, go ahead, grab yourself a little bit of fresh chopped parsley, especially on that puttanesca. A little bit on the salsa radicchio. That's all the garnish that needs. I'm not a big fresh black pepper on top. You can if you feel like it, but I like to keep that black pepper cooked into it. The sorrentina, just a little bit more basil on top. And you're ready to go. And as with all things Italian, extra virgin olive oil all the way around. So, freshly prepared spaghetti amatriciana, spaghetti with salsa radicchio, spaghetti puttanesca, and spaghetti alla sorrentina. Buon appetito!